Morning folks, that's the view out of our windscreen, which is very nice. Welcome back to Life on the Run, where I don't know whether we're gonna, I've discovered this morning that there's panel is just a mile down the road, a 20-minute walk, and there's a pub there. I don't know whether we're gonna attempt it or not today.
I think we are.
You think we are? Comes a voice from the back. Okay, well I'll attempt to film it, but just now I'm going to tell you about when we were running the piano shop, okay, who lived with us, because there was always somebody living with us at some point or another. Mick, who did the roof on Breadline Gallery, he split from his wife, and he came with two of his lads, Alden and Cash, and he stayed in two upstairs rooms, which were where we used to rehearse with the band, and the gallery, rooms for the gallery. Obviously we couldn't get pianos up there. We weren't carting pianos up steps, so he stayed up there, did Mick with his two lads, until he got, I think they got a council house somewhere in Leeds. Meanwood. Comes the voice from the back. We also had Nigel. Nigel came to live with us for a bit. He had a band. He played bass guitar in a band called Paris at that time, and he were a good artist. In fact, he was brilliant at doing airbrush paintings. I once saw him do I think it was a Salvador Dali image of looking down on Christ on a cross. He did it on a bonnet of a car. Brilliant it was. I've found out recently that he lives in Cornwall, and he's teaching at private lessons. So he's still painting, is Nigel, down in Cornwall. Who else? Dom, who played lead guitar in the band, in our band, when we were called Switch. He stayed with us for a little bit. We had a girl at one time, Lynn. She'd had an exhibition at the gallery, I think. I know she went to Leeds University, not the Poly. She went to Leeds University, and she stayed with us for a while. And Olu, Gobiega Odi Kunle, stayed with us for a while. He was a student from Nigeria, and he worked at Barker's down the road. He was studying refrigeration engineering, and there was a refrigeration firm called Barker's just down the road. It doesn't exist anymore, near the Rodley Nature Reserve, where the nature reserve is now. And he worked there during the summer, and while he was there he lived with us, and in fact later on, a few years later, we got a letter from him, a little parcel, and he'd got married and he had 3 kids, and he sent me a wallet made from alligator skin, and sent Pat some. I don't know whether it were moccasins or not. Yeah, he sent us a picture with his wife and his 3 kids back in Nigeria. Yeah, in them days in Nigeria, when he did his course, he had to work for the Nigerian government for 2 or 3 years or something in order to pay back the loan that they gave him to come to England to university. Yeah, so that's some of the people who lived with us when we were running the piano shop. All right, so I'll see you later. Bye. I was just going to tell them about when, towards the back end of when we were running the shop, and someone rang me up from Boston Spa, the executors to a will. They said they had a piano that they needed to sell, and would I come and have a look at it with a view to buying it. It was a stick of this piano, and at that time we had a tower van that we attached to his car, and we collected and delivered pianos in it. Well, the day I decided to go across to Boston Spa to look at this piano, I did have the flu really. I wasn't feeling well at all, and I got there, and it was a good piano. In fact, it was a really nice piano, real big, hefty, overstrung, under damper by Steck, and it had French quartered veneer on it. We agreed a price, and I moved pianos on my own then. But the trouble was, the owner of this house had a heater, wall heater, a storage heater put in the corridor, and you couldn't fully open the outside door. It came up against the storage heater, so I had to take the door off, and I had to put this Steck on its side on the bogey, on the piano bogey, to get it out. And so I had to take the door off, and I did get it out. I got it into tower van, and strapped up, and I had to put the door back on. I was knackered. And then I drove back to the shop in Rodley. Pulled up outside the shop, and I was getting it off just like I normally do, no different. And I got it onto bogey on its side, now what? Just turning it to go up onto coarser edge, and it went. And it literally did a cartwheel on the top corner, and it landed on its back, half on the pavement and half on the road. And it made such a crash that people down the road came out of the shops and premises looking, what on earth was that noise? And there was the piano laid on its back, with me staring down at it in disbelief. Well, I got it back upright, and I got it into the shop, and I thought, what kind of damage have I done to this piano? And all right, I had definitely damaged the lid. It was just all crunched up on the corner and a split down it, the top lid. But the frame was all right. I thought, I'm sure to have cracked the frame. When the frame on a piano gets cracked, that's it. It's had it. It'll never tune, never stay in tune. But it hadn't. It was fine. The soundboard was fine. I couldn't see any other structural damage to this piano. Anyway, I rang Melvin up about it, and he said he'd come and he picked the lid up, took the lid down to his place, and he had a guy working for him who was an art student from the Laurel Grove days, but he was a restorer, and he restored that lid, and you would never have known it had any damage whatsoever. It did such a fantastic job on it. And I fettled the thing up and tuned it. And from that day, I never sold another piano. The phone stopped ringing. For 6 weeks, the phone never rang and I never sold a piano. Mind you, I'm going to let this car go by. Another footpath there, look.
Yeah.
Footpaths all over the place down here. This was supposed to be a quiet country lane. Don't give us any breathing space, will you? Look, me, see how close he come. Also, the Scargill brought the miners out as well, and that affected the shop as well. Anyway, this piano went down to Melvin's in Leeds. He said he'd take it. And lo and behold, his phone never rang after he'd got it. Now this sounds really spooky, but it's so true. And I said there's a curse, there's a curse on that piano, Melvin. And Melvin got rid of it. He sold it to a Frenchman or an Italian or something and exported it. But yeah, I thought I'd tell that story while we're walking down this so-called quiet country lane. Ringway public footpath. Up there. Why, that's an old style. Yeah. Proper footpaths, aren't there?
Yeah.
Look at that. It goes up. Mind you, muddy.
Yeah.
You definitely need your wellies on. We are open. We are open.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Bloody Nora. Crazy. This crazy world.
We know the come through
Panel?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think we do.
Have a look over here. So, what time is it, Pat, do you know?
Yeah.
Can you easily see? All right.
25. It's setting us about 25, 30 minutes.
All right then. A minute.
Is it ringing?
No, I'm putting my mask on.
Oh.
Of course she's standing there just gazing.
I wonder what you're doing.
Here we are in the Black Swan in Panel. Lovely place. That sands are cold. So the ladies just put some red hot water in a cup for her to put her hands round to warm them up.
And it is hot. Definitely hot. Very hot.
Sausage and mash with garden peas. Pat's got same. So he's baking a carb diet.